Black was bad. Black was evil. Black was something you don't need. We had to grab it. So it became a level of consciousness. You have to be at a certain stage to accept that actually I'm not going to, lose my sleep anymore because there's nothing I'm going to do about that blackness. So we have to take it and run with it. So everything we were doing, we didn't want them to stop us which was what was happening before. You are in a meeting or you are talking to somebody and somebody say, oh, you black this, or they put notice and say no blacks and this. And then it used to get you down because psychologically, you are no good. You are bad, you are evil, you shouldn't be here. Even when you've been their slaves and you scrub and you wash and you do all the dirty things, and they still want to run you down. So the word black became something that we embraced, and we continue to embrace it. And mind you, it is under threat, because after we've accepted it, especially on the left, we accept it and we're working on it, and some are now beginning to say, no, we want to call it diversity month, or we want to call it, something other, or, we don't want the word black. So it's still something that we have to defend.
All the things that Martha was talking about from the 60s and the 70s, behind it all, there was a whole upsurge of people who maybe newcomers to this country coming together, community building, nation building, call it what you want. But there used to be a whole number of Saturday schools and evening classes and everybody, and history is those who define it.
Doing my research, it seems that you may be the longest-standing black councillor in Haringey, as it stands at the moment.
In collective terms, yes, because I first was elected in 1986 for 8 years until 1994. I had a break for 8 years, and I came back again in 2002. Until this year, until May this year.
So, obviously being a councillor is one thing. So what did you do, your occupation?
Well, I was a teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher, so I actually achieved that particular ambition. So then, obviously, I think becoming a councillor was a bonus, although it was trying to juggle the two things together. It wasn't easy, but it was quite rewarding. How
would you encourage young people to get involved in local democracy, activism or advocacy?
There seemed to be a reluctance in people going for politics because, when politicians sometimes behave the way that they do, then it's not really a very good sort of role model for youngsters. But it doesn't mean that you have to give up.
So when you was elected, was Bernie Grant the head of the council?
I found him a very inspirational leader, yes. So then, unfortunately, he had to move on.
Yeah, to become the MP.
Greater things. But
yeah.
I actually enjoyed my time with him.
Yes, excellent. Ken, thank you so much. I know you are a busy individual, and I'm so pleased that you've taken the time to share with us your story. So bring us up to date now, because I really want to tell us about your organisation, what your organisation stands for, why you set it up, and what do you do?
The organisation is called Haringey Independent Stop and Search Monitoring Group, but we call it HISSMG. And simply what we do out there, we hold the police to account as best as we can. We're all a group of volunteers, but the thing is that we've got a passion. And when you've got a passion, you can make things happen. If you've got the mentality that's saying, oh, it's not gonna happen, you know what? It's unlikely to happen. But when you've got a mentality, this isn't right and we're gonna bring about real change, it will happen. You get unsuspected outcomes from your action. No different. One of the resounding cases that I'm notable for is the Julia Roberts, Section 60. Now, beforehand, they used the Section 60, it's a no suspicion, means that they didn't need to have any suspicion about you to stop and search you in a particular area. And the abuse of that was among us.
Changed that?
And we changed it. Now, from at heights, we had 1.2 million stops and searches. Now it's down to about 165, under 200,000 now.
It was over 1 million?
Yes, 1.2 million back in 2012 and 2013 at its height.
So have you changed the law then?
We changed the law. When it changed, not the law, but because of that case, we showed it was racial profiling, they now reduced the use of stop and search of Section 60 by 99%. All I try to do is try to bring because there's no alternative to engagement. But I realise is what terms and conditions you put on engaging. Because I can do all the work I need to do with my community, empowering them, giving them the knowledge.
I understand your long service. You've had 24 years as a councillor in Haringey, and I want to talk to you a little bit about that.
I actually am the only councillor who's part of the Windrush generation.
You're the only councillor who's part of the Windrush generation?
The Windrush generation is defined as people coming to this country between 1948 and 1971. Well, I came here in 1964, so that must make me firmly within the Windrush generation.
You are firmly within the Windrush generation. Thank you for that, because that's something that we've been discussing around this project, Change Major, because it's all about democracy, advocacy and activism. So part of your journey, your aspirations to come to the motherland, as it was known then...
Well, I didn't regard it as a motherland.
OK, you didn't.
Some people might have done, but I didn't. I just regarded it as another country who I had the opportunity to go and live in. I mean, I don't get this motherland thing, quite frankly.
What were the challenges you faced?
Try to get a better provision for black kids. Well, lots of these black kids was doing what was called at the time sink schools.
That's right. They were excluded. That's right.
Well, the schools weren't any good.
And was that? And would you say that was something that was being taken place deliberately against children of black children? Was it something that the system had designed deliberately to exclude black children from mainstream, or was that just the way it was?
I don't think there was a deliberate intention by the state to do that, but I think it was an easy cop-out for the teachers and management of schools to not worry too much about black kids, keep them quiet and put them to one side and stand in the corner quietly. And at the end of the long period of time in school, when you think from primary school, before that nursery, you know, long journey through school, at the end of that, they go through the front door with little or nothing.
Hi, Sonia here, celebrating Haringey's Changemakers, and we're here to salute Oliver Tambo. As you know, Oliver Reginald Tambo, 27th of October 1917 to 1993, lived in Haringey. Not only was he a great South African statesman, living in Haringey, he ran the ANC practically from his house. He galvanised the community, raised the level of apartheid, the concerns in Haringey and on a wider scale. As he states, it's our responsibility to break down barriers of division and create a country where there will be neither white nor blacks, just South Africans free and united in diversity.